Forecast from meteorologist Nakondra Norwood.
We had a mostly dry, mostly nice day across the metro area until late in the evening. That's when we were watching that storm come across the lake, and there were some questions about, is any of it going to make it? Well, we'll look at that in just a second. Right now, it's 70 at the airport, 75 at Belle Chase, and 69 in Slidell. We got those dew points right up there. We're not going to expect to see temperatures falling tonight much at all because there is so much moisture behind. There isn't rain still left on radar. Now, most of this is just scattered. That's not actual rain. But back here around Lafayette, you're still seeing a pretty good downpour across that area that got soaked just a couple days ago. So here's where we are tonight. Remember, it was, if you were with me at 4, 5 o'clock, we were watching this area of storms. We had several severe thunderstorm warnings come through with this. And then this big one here, that's the one that had the big hail signatures with it as it moved through parts of Laranger and then down through Robert, right along 190 and I-12, and then getting on down 55 into Laplace. You saw some of that very heavy rainfall. The eastern end of this kind of fell apart over Lake Pontchartrain, which was some good news, and we started to see things drying out as we headed into the later part of the night. But we left a little rain behind, 29 hundredths in the rain gauge at Hammond. Heard from Vern in Covington. He said he had 7/10, so there was a pretty decent soaking around there. But some of the pockets in here between those official rain gauges are really where we saw the rain. Look at this, the big bright red, estimated 5 inches there as you looked just really to the east of Independence. And then we saw some reports around 2. These are, again, radar estimated, but you saw how heavy that rain was on the radar. Now, through the day, we had that moisture zooming in out of the south with those southerly winds showing up across the region. Tomorrow, that leaves plenty of fuel behind. We don't have that big wave of energy that's going to be moving across to the north like we had today. So maybe not quite as much coverage as we saw, especially north of Lake Pontchartrain. Remember, we had to up today's coverage last night. Now, we do have the lake breeze, though. We will have some sea breeze action going on. And with all of our moisture around here as we get into the day, we may see a little bit more cloud cover. And then it's late afternoon, after 12, 1 o'clock, that we could start to see some of these storms bubbling up. Is that going to be right on top of Jazz Fest or right on top of Zurich Classic? You know, it's kind of like throwing a dart at the map. We can't tell you it's going to be right over your event. Be prepared. If the skies open up, it could be a very heavy storm. Otherwise, the vast majority of us are going to stay mostly dry, and it's going to be a pretty nice Saturday for us. And then by late evening, we dry things out again, and you get a chance to enjoy. Now, going into your Sunday, we're going to be looking for the same kinds of situations, but I actually think Sunday shows even less coverage because you're going to have that high pressure overhead. High temperatures today, we made it to 84 out in Kenner. The hot spot, Gonzales, 89, 86 in Baton Rouge. That's where the storms were a little bit later in the day. We got the blow off of the clouds as you went a little bit farther to the east. We've got those dew points tonight, high again, so that means our temperatures are going to have a hard time falling again. And a lot of what we dealt with today, tail end of this system here, that upper low that's spinning, and there was the energy that allowed us to see those storms coming together. Our high pressure, well, that's going to be building in and moving across the region as we go through the day tomorrow and Sunday. I think that sinking air makes it a little bit more difficult for us to get as many of those thunderstorms around. Your extended forecast, it's not a bad one here. We are going to be threatening those high temperatures. Now, our record high for Saturday is 88. We're looking at 86. Could you bump a degree or two? That's possible. On Sunday, the record is also going to be there in the upper 80s. So if we hit that 90, we may be putting some new records on the book. The marine forecast is calm, though. If you are trading out Jazz Fest and golf and all that for the water, should be okay.
Like we said
avoid the
earlier,
storms.
the umbrella for the sun or the rain, right?
You could use it for both.
Either one.
It's multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose. Thank you, Nakondra.